I know the other brother, you know, and by extension, I know his son. And all the work that my man is doing out here to get other people free, to help other people. He speaks at colleges, he speaks at detention centers, he speaks at schools, and his own son, you know, he couldn't save him. Um, you know, so I know that mental health is an issue. Plus, my own mother, you know, she had mental health issues 2 months before I came home. I was ready, you know, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm coming home. I got a letter, you know, I'm on the way, mama, won't do won't. And 2 months before I came home, they called me to the office and said your mama was gone. So she too had mental issues. She had, and it threw me because I would read her letters and I wouldn't understand how could you go from saying, you know, speaking happy, joy, and love, and then the next letter would be the world is evil, and I hear whispers, and I'm reading the letter like, and I call my siblings like, man, what's wrong with mama, man? You know, what's going on? She won't take her medicine, you know, and I'm like, medicine? And she was bipolar and schizophrenic. And then I try to think back to moments when I was on the street, and I only saw, and I can only recall 2 moments where I saw this, you know, this illness rearing its head. But when I was on the street, I didn't pay that amount. I'm like, you know, we would use the term lunching or tripping. And that's a problem with us as a community. You know, someone has mental health issues, we'll say, oh, they tripping, they lunching, or they know what they doing, they playing games. No, this stuff has to be looked into. You know, a lot of people, the foods that we've eaten has been, you know, contaminated. The air is contaminated. Our bodies are contaminated. You know, we're full of disease and germs. I mean, it doesn't seem that way, but we haven't eaten right. We haven't lived right. We haven't thought right. And so it's going into our children, and they're coming out with mental health issues, and now we have to start taking it more seriously. So I'm always dealing with it. It's still hard. I can't really do much except be there to support when I'm around, offer a couple of dollars here and there when I can. You know, like I say, our younger brother does that part almost on his own. You know what I mean? But when I can be there, I strive to be. And hopefully, I'll be in a home one day. I'm in an apartment. Hopefully, I'll be in a home one day where there'll be an available space for him. As our youngest brother is actually looking for a 2-bedroom now for that purpose. You know, so yeah.
Oh man. You most definitely have a story, brother. And I see the humbleness. I see why you're so humble. What made you so humble? Was it like just doing the 25 years? Was it just life? Like, what made you so genuine and so humble? You know?
You know, I wonder about that because when I look around me, I look at my siblings, I look at my family. You know, people are humble, like I say, based on situations and circumstances. I was always a pretty reserved individual. Um, my older brother, he's a lot more outgoing than me. He's always been taller and slimmer. And I think because I was heavy, you know, that kind of made me take a back seat to a lot of things. Then when I did good in school. I love school. My father primarily raised us. And though he had his own flaws and struggles with drug use later on, he gave us a lot of knowledge and wisdom along the way. Um, we've had cousins. One of my older cousins, who's my father's a little older than my father, we grew up with him. He was also knowledgeable, but they would stress certain things. You know, be tight, take care of family, get knowledge, work hard, and don't be cocky. That's something that even though I think my father was cocky in his own way because he was dark-skinned, slim, could fight, you know, pretty talented in some areas. You know, they teach humility, but you see them, you know, they're outgoing, they're confident, but, you know, sometimes it's like, okay, you know, but I didn't pick that quality up, that outgoingness. I didn't. So even when I took to the street, I learned how to, I guess, get attention in the street. And though I wasn't looking for a mass amount of attention, I used to envy the attention of some people. Like I say, my older brother, slimmer and taller. He's the one that I think if we go in a room of 20 women, 18 will probably prefer him over me. I'm cool with that. I really am. But you want somebody, you know. I knew guys who had 6-packs. I was always, like I said, happy kids. So I pretty much was quiet, but I fought pretty good. You know, my father, my cousins, family, friend, my uncle